Blake Lively has been handed her first big loss in her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, and frankly, it is entirely her own fault, or more precisely, the fault of her legal team. They were asking for too much.
So guys, the judge has denied Blake Lively of getting 2.5 years worth of phone records from Justin Baldoni.
I love Lily. Like I love that she sees the best in people, the things that people may have cast aside, or like a flower shop on the corner that nobody sees the potential in, or a boy across the street who everyone makes fun of. She sees you and she sees your value and she uplifts you to your highest.
Hollywood's beloved actress Blake Lively, known for her unforgettable roles in The Age of Adeline and A Simple Favor, has been dealt a crushing legal blow in her intensifying feud with co-star and director Justin Baldoni. In a shocking courtroom twist, a federal judge in Manhattan outright dismissed her sweeping demand for Baldoni's phone records.
Overreaching, and frankly, it was a shocking amount of overreach. I called it out in our last video, and it wasn't even all that close. For those of you who aren't following the case yet, Justin Baldoni founded Wayfarer Studios with billionaire Steve Sarowitz, and Wayfarer bought the rights to the movie right, a book called It Ends With Us. Now, Baldoni was a director, and he also played the lead role opposite co-star Blake Lively. Now, Blake Lively says that while they were on the set, starring together in this movie, that he SH'd her. She says when she complained, he then set out to retaliate against her by orchestrating a smear campaign designed to destroy her reputation.
Imagine this girl, in her court case, she asked for 2.5 years of phone records, receipts of his. And the judge said no, that is way too disproportionate, and it's also very disturbing. It's unfair, and he told her, no, you can't have that. Listen, if she has her claims, and she's the one that started this whole entire lawsuit, this whole entire grievance, then she should have already had her proof. Blake, I can understand that the judge is choosing no on this.
Slamming the request as baseless, overly intrusive, and legally unjustified. This bombshell ruling is just the latest twist in what's shaping up to be one of Hollywood's most scandalous legal battles, filled with explosive accusations, retaliatory smear campaigns, defamation claims, and shocking allegations of misconduct. Sources close to the case reveal that tensions between Lively and Baldoni have reached a breaking point, with both sides gearing up for a no-holds-barred courtroom showdown.
To share with you in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni legal feud. A federal judge has set a trial date for those two of March 9th, 2026. This will be when the actors can finally resolve their claims over what happened during filming of the movie It Ends With Us. The judge also ordered a conference next week after Lively's lawyers said that Baldoni's lawyers tried to wreck her career. Baldoni's attorneys say that Lively launched a smear campaign against him. Lively sued Baldoni back in December for harassment, and then Baldoni sued her, sued the New York Times this past month, accusing them of publishing false claims that made by Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, that they are defamatory, and also they're claiming extortion here as well. Wow, this is a big mess, and now the judge has it on the calendar.
As the legal drama unfolds, insiders speculate that dark secrets, hidden agendas, and behind-the-scenes power struggles could soon be exposed, sending shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Will this case take an even darker turn? Will Blake Lively fight back with new evidence? One thing is certain, this Hollywood feud is far from over.
Team had asked to subpoena Justin Baldoni's phone, meaning, and not only Justin Baldoni, the entire team that they had sued, meaning like 5 or 6 people, and they want not only to look at text messages in regards to the case, but in regards to everything.
And they want to go back 2.5 years.
Yes, with their internet browser history, so they can see whatever they Googled. I mean, if they do that to anyone's phone, you're gonna find stuff that are suspicious, don't you think? I mean, you Google many weird things. I think to ask to have access to Justin Baldoni's text to his wife, I mean, isn't that outrageous?
It sounds like an overreach, if you ask me.
Or like Justin Baldoni's lawyer called it, a fishing expedition, which is a word he used on purpose, I think, because that's a word that judges don't really like. And this is, like he also pointed out, this is not a criminal case, and it's not the FBI. This is a civil case. So I think asking for this, do you think they're going to get it through from the judge?
Not altogether, but you know, it is you can do it in defamation cases, though.
Yeah, but I think limited in defamation.
Stay tuned for more jaw-dropping updates. The high-profile legal battle between Hollywood actress Blake Lively and her A Simple Favor co-star and director Justin Baldoni has taken a dramatic turn, drawing significant media attention as both parties prepare for a trial scheduled for March 2026.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, my besties. Do you think that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively had anything to do with it?
This is what Justin Baldoni's team is saying, right? They're saying that Ryan Reynolds pressured WME to fire Baldoni.
Yeah.
And of course, that has been denied by WME. But why then did they fire Baldoni? There are more quotes though out there, and he's saying that I am the man that did it. I am what did he say? I'm a ride or die guy.
Yeah.
So he takes credit for firing him. Then he's making fun of his last name by calling him Bologna or something like that.
Yeah, Baloney.
Baloney, and then he corrects himself and says Baloney.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, and that's someone they represented for more than 5 years.
The case has become the center of intense speculation, with legal experts and critics analyzing every new development. Reports indicate that Lively's legal team has taken an aggressive approach, issuing extensive subpoenas for Baldoni's phone records, as well as the devices of at least 5 or 6 other individuals connected to the case.
The tea is flowing in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case involving Taylor Swift and Brian Friedman and all the characters that are involved. And the cross-fighting here in the legal documents is absolutely insane. Justin responds to subpoena. Say, hey, this is a massive fishing expedition. It goes back and forth, and that's where we land on the actual documents that we're about to share with you. Umbrella Guy, friend of the program, says Blake Lively wants 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni calls, texts, real-time location. Watch. It's all because she's attempting further character assassination since her Me Too claims didn't end him. Now, as we know, she claims he harassed her, SH, right? And that's really the big story. But she's also going to claim that he's part of a smear campaign. He's going to argue that was in retaliation. We were planning a retaliation if you were going to come after.
This move is being viewed as a strategic attempt to uncover potential evidence of an alleged smear campaign against her. The request extends far beyond typical litigation-related communications, as Lively's team is demanding access to an extensive range of private digital data. This includes not only text messages relevant to the lawsuit, but also call logs, personal messages, web search history, and browser activity from the past 2.5 years.
Doing this for, 20 years now, and it's one of those films that you really feel how special it is. That speaks to Colleen's work. Like with the source material that we had a book that there was a story and emotional journey that resonated with so many people. So it was our responsibility not to screw it up. Yeah, it was just such a beautiful experience, and I couldn't be more proud.
Such a sweeping demand has sparked debates over privacy concerns and the legal precedent it may set in celebrity disputes. If granted, this could expose previously undisclosed details about Baldoni's private communications, intensifying the already contentious nature of the case. With both sides preparing for what is shaping up to be a high-stakes courtroom battle, the entertainment industry is watching closely to see how this legal drama unfolds.
New York Times article came out, basically this whole smear campaign against him and lifting Lively. He lost an award he had just earned from for fighting for women's rights.
Right.
He lost an award, lost his agent because he was represented by William Morris and was dropped by his agency. He also represented Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. He lost his podcast. His podcast co-host left, saying that she wasn't going to condone it, and lost movie deals and all kinds of stuff. So he lost
canceled.
revenue.
Got canceled.
Baldoni got canceled. He lost.
The legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni continues to intensify, with new details emerging about the subpoenas issued in the case. These legal demands, intended to uncover evidence supporting Lively's claims of a coordinated effort to discredit her, have not only targeted Baldoni, but also several individuals closely associated with her.
Taylor Swift and his lawsuit against Blake Lively. So Justin Baldoni is suing Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and their publicist for over $400 million for all the It Ends With Us drama. Now he's dropping Taylor Swift, Blake's bestie, in the mix. Thankfully, Taylor Swift is not being sued, but she's mentioned in his 179-page paper complaint. And he's alleging that Taylor's fame was used to pressure him in production. And it really all stems from this penthouse situation where Blake and Ryan live. Apparently, there was a meeting there with all of them, and Taylor Swift was actually present and ended up rewriting one of the scenes. And even after the meeting was over, Baldoni texted Blake this, saying, "I gotta put my on for this one, the font is too small. Also was working on the rooftop scene today. Really love what you did. Makes it so much more fun and interesting, and I would have felt the same way without Ryan and Taylor."
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit, and I don't think she ever wanted this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked, and the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit.
The case has taken a dramatic turn, drawing widespread attention as more information surfaces about the tensions that have been brewing behind the scenes. The controversy dates back to the highly anticipated adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel, It Ends With Us, where Lively was cast as the lead alongside Baldoni, who also served as the film's director.
Be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against sexual assault and sexual harassment, even talks masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deep into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of sexual harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting hurt? Do you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is gonna be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way.
Followed by an attempted PR tone of her to cover his own ass from people finding out he did to her. In an article titled "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story, and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds, and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say so.
Released in August 2024, the film defied expectations at the box office, grossing an impressive $351 million worldwide on a modest $25 million budget, despite receiving only mixed critical reviews. While the project was a commercial success, tensions between Lively and Baldoni reportedly escalated behind the scenes, leading to an increasingly strained working relationship.
So as Justin sees it, as Blake was busy trying to strong-arm and take over every part of his movie, she, out of the blue, rewrote a part of the script and then gave it to Justin for him to see if he liked it and if they could put it in the movie. But she's not the writer on the movie. And then Blake told him that he should come over to her and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse and talk about that part of the script that she wrote. But when he arrived, to his surprise, her best friend Taylor Swift was there, imploring him to use Blake's script, saying it is the single best thing she's ever read in her fucking life. And keep in mind, this is all about career advancement for Blake Lively, and Taylor Swift has been one of the people supporting her in doing that and be pretty ruthless to keep her friend succeeding. She even let Blake Lively direct her first project ever, which was a Taylor Swift music video.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, made all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals, and then she's going on this press tour pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers. In the past, she has no one to blame but her.
By December 2024, what began as creative differences had erupted into a full-blown legal dispute. Lively officially filed a lawsuit against Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer Studios, accusing them of misconduct, intimidation, and creating a hostile working environment.
Of Blake being cringe and being rude. Blake did those things. And Blake did use film as a moment to launch a hair care business. Right. And promoting her alcohol brand, Betty Buzz, it's just not a good look when you're promoting also a film about domestic violence. Well, I think too, it was just a lot of like all about Blake, all about how this is how I styled it. This is my hair care and my Betty Buzz, whatever. It was just a lot about her and how this was her vision. And I think people felt like that it didn't land.
With the battle now spilling into the courts and new allegations surfacing, the entertainment industry is watching closely as this legal fight has the potential to reshape Hollywood power dynamics. As the trial date approaches, speculation is mounting about the evidence that may come to light and the lasting impact this case could have on both stars' careers.
It ends with us. The costume design for Lily Bloom, played by Blake Lively, fails spectacularly in conveying the essence of the character and the overall narrative, with many viewers expressing confusion about its messaging and its distracting nature. What's interesting is that in the book, Colleen Hoover actually refers very little to Lily Bloom's style and the clothes that she wears. She doesn't describe how Lily likes to dress, what her kind of style is, or even if she has a signature piece of clothing that she often reaches for or she's known for wearing. This only illustrates Colleen's desire to leave the sensitive nature of the book and of Lily's story at the...
Blake Lively has alleged that after she voiced her concerns about misconduct and intimidation on set, Justin Baldoni retaliated by orchestrating a calculated smear campaign to damage her reputation. According to her, his behavior created a toxic and hostile work environment, making it increasingly difficult for her to perform her role.
And another reason why Blake Lively's disastrous attempt at costume design miserably for It Ends With Us is because in all of the scenes, she wore crispy, brand spanking new shoes. Let me show you. In this scene, when Lily Bloom is playing with her daughter in the park, why on earth is she at the park, first of all, in high heels? That's first. Second, in brand new boots. There's not one on these red boots. In what alternate universe does a mom with her daughter in the park in brand new heels? This is so unrealistic, it's not even funny. I'm gonna tell you what we do as costume designers to make this scene look more realistic. Again, look at how clean these boots are. She's supposed to be a florist. You would assume she's walking through dirty floors, she's on her feet today. Your shoes would be dirty. You wouldn't have one of those, that's first and foremost, but your shoes would also...
However, just when the legal dispute seemed to be reaching its peak, the situation took an even more shocking and unexpected turn. Baldoni countered by filing a $400 million lawsuit against Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. What truly stunned fans, however...
What was really important for the character was that you understood she was like a walking, talking contradiction, but also she could be all things at once. She could be both strong and vulnerable. She could be both masculine and feminine. She could be artistic and overly expressive and fashion and fabulous, but she could also be like very grounded in utility. Wardrobe is always the way that I enter a character. I'm a very shy person, so if I look a certain way, then I can escape into that. Like even stuff today, I don't dress like this in real life, but like I'm having to like do interviews and talk, so I'm gonna like a crazy pattern and really crazy rings. Rings also are like my comfort blanket. It's just a very expensive comfort blanket. I should like Snuggies instead as a comfort blanket. Instead I like Lorraine Schwartz. Which problem?
There seems to be a theme among many movies that have a quirky or different character, and in order to convey that, they feel the need to style them in such an extreme, over-the-top way. Sometimes it actually works, but many times it just comes as extremely unrealistic. It Ends With Us is a perfect example of this. Fashion is a tool of self-expression. It is used to express what's on the inside, on the outside. So in a way, our clothes are almost like a second skin. They make sense, they feel right, they look right. And when looking at these outfits, they don't look like a second skin. But something that also just doesn't work is the fact that they seem so unrealistic, and it makes them and the character unbelievable. You're not going to see people walk around in outfits like this all the time. It also could just be a casting issue. These outfits might look fantastic on someone else, but on Blake Lively, it doesn't look like Lily Bloom. It looks like Blake Lively dressed in unflattering clothes that don't match her personality. However, many fans of the book are saying that these outfits just don't match Lily's character.
Was Baldoni's decision to drag Taylor Swift into the legal battle. In explosive court documents, Baldoni alleged that Lively used Swift's influence to manipulate Reynolds during a heated dispute over changes to a pivotal rooftop scene in the film. He claimed that Swift's sudden presence during a private meeting made him feel as though he had no choice but to comply with Lively's creative demands, subtly implying that her immense star power was wielded as a tool to sway decisions in her favor. According to Baldoni, this realization marked a turning point in his life, as he saw firsthand how Hollywood's power dynamics could be leveraged against him. Interestingly, sources close to the situation reveal that Swift had no intention of being part of the discussion, but had simply arrived at Lively's New York apartment while the intense debate was still unfolding. With these new revelations adding another layer of complexity to the case, speculation is running wild about the potential fallout and the impact this high-stakes legal battle could have on all parties involved. Blake Lively has found herself at the center of a growing controversy.
Lively made a massive mistake when she attempted to take over the role as costume designer for Lily Bloom for It Ends With Us. Aside from the wardrobe just completely being wrong for the character, she forgot to build the character arc for Lily Bloom. What do I mean by character arc? The character arc is when you establish the character's emotions through different phases of their life. So Lily Bloom has 3 distinct phases: before Ryle, during Ryle, when the DV is occurring, after Ryle. But Lily's wardrobe was the same note throughout the film, with no ups and downs and emotions, which is why the view was never connected. So I'm going to show you what I would have done to establish the character arc. I'm also going to explain the importance of using color theory to tell the story through wardrobe. Here are the 10 mistakes Blake Lively made when trying to design her own character for Lily Bloom for It Ends With Us. And every time I think I'm done talking about this, I find something else. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just gonna run through the list, but for the full video, go to the YT page. Number 1, which should be so obvious, is that I don't think she read the book, allegedly. Because if she had read the book, she would know what Lily Bloom should wear in the movie, and it would look a whole lot better than what it did. Number 2 is not building a character arc. Now, I know she's not a costume designer, so she wouldn't know how to build a character arc, but what should have happened is there should have been a clear differentiation from 3 acts and the 3 characters of Lily Bloom, and it should have been visible through the wardrobe. Number 3 is wearing all new clothes for film. That's just not realistic. No one would do that. 4 is wearing high heels, especially to the park. 5 are those crazy double pants that she wore all the time. I don't know what was up with it.
With critics accusing her of using the promotional campaign for It Ends With Us as a strategic platform to market her personal business ventures and brand endorsements. Rather than keeping the focus on the film's deeply emotional and socially significant themes, detractors argue that Lively blurred the line between her acting profession and entrepreneurship, seemingly prioritizing self-promotion over the integrity of the story. This debate has sparked a larger discussion in Hollywood about whether A-list celebrities should leverage major film projects to advance their commercial interests or maintain a clear separation between their artistic roles and business endeavors. The backlash has been particularly intense when it comes to the wardrobe choices for Lively's character, Lily Bloom, in the film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel. While the book tackles raw and sensitive themes surrounding domestic abuse, trauma, and resilience, audiences were taken aback by the costume design in the film, which featured an unexpected mix of whimsical.
As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She would be part of that team. The next thing you know, she took over the editing. She started making threats that she wouldn't promote the movie, that she wanted to be in control of marketing of the movie, that she would do nothing in terms of promotion unless she was.
Overly stylized and fashion-forward outfits, From patchwork slacks to sequin gowns, Lively's on-screen wardrobe sparked immediate criticism, with many fans and critics arguing that such playful and extravagant clothing choices clashed with the story's harrowing subject matter, ultimately diminishing the film's emotional impact. Beyond just aesthetic concerns, some industry experts believe that Lively's influence on the film's branding and marketing may have played a role in these questionable creative decisions. They suggest that the wardrobe choices reflected an attempt to make Lily Bloom's look more commercially appealing, potentially aligning with Lively's personal fashion-related business ventures.